Hello, 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 hello. How's everybody doing? It's your boy Bach, Everything DMV Radio. We are back and we are making things happen as usual. Shout out everybody who has tapped in with me over on IG. Um, Shout out everybody on YouTube. Shout out everybody on TikTok. Shout out everybody on LinkedIn. Um, just want to say, thank you for trusting me to continue to bring you good content, good peoples, good stories. You know what I mean? Good stories where, we can dive into what the community is giving us, um, how they're giving it to us, and just, being a part of the bigger picture. Um, we have a guest today, and this guest has been, doing her thing for a long time now. So you're locked in with Everything DMV Radio. I am your host, DJ Big Bàk, and our guest today is Cherisa C Alford, known in the poetry world as SweetSugarCanethepoet. And we're going to be talking voice, obedience, perspective, and the business of being a self-published author. If you are in the chats, definitely, drop where you're watching from, drop your questions, and we'll pull a few live today as we are doing this introduction, this recap, this a lot of stuff. We're going to be, just diving into who she is as an artist, her journey, where she, came from, the origins of, everything that, came together. If you also would like to continue to see more episodes like this, you can scan that QR code up in the corner, and you can definitely support Everything DMV Radio. But with no further ado, we have with us today Miss Sweet Sugar Cane.
Buddy.
Hello, hello.
What's up, DJ Back?
Not
Been
much,
a
not
long time
much.
coming.
Yeah, long time,
Years.
long time,
Years
and
in
we
the
are
planning.
finally here. Yes,
Yeah.
when I think back, I met you at Champion Lounge for the very first time,
Mm-hmm.
um, years and years ago, and I know I've been, hitting you up here and there, trying to, make things happen, and you've been hitting me up here and there, trying to make things happen. But hey, we're here today. We made
We are.
it.
Everything
We
in its
are
season.
absolutely, absolutely. So, you ready?
I am. I am.
Awesome, awesome.
So
So, we are live right now, everyone. Um, Thanks again for tapping in. Thanks for you know trusting Everything DMV Radio. Um, Segment one really taps into who you are.
mhm.
Can you tell me, how did you get started writing?
I got started writing when I first came here to the United States. So back in 2003. Um, my middle school teacher, my art teacher, she was giving away a lot of stuff. I guess it was, school was almost out and she was giving away a lot of supplies. And so I was one of the students. She gave some stuff, some artwork to whatever it is. And there was a book. There was the scrapbook and there was the diary book. that I got also, and that was the first time anyone has ever given me a book or anything like that. So I was super excited about that, and I just started writing a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, for me at first, it was a way of cursing people out because I was cursing everybody. I was very angry, like they were doing a whole lot of stuff. So it was a great way of me just releasing a lot of my frustration at the people that I was angry at. And then sometimes I would do a little poetry here and there. Didn't really think much of that. And sometimes I would try to even attempt to write a song or something like that. But that's pretty much how I got started.
Nice, nice. So, you said you was angry and all of these types
Yes.
of things. So, what was
Hmm.
happening in your life at that time that made you make writing a necessity for you, or made it feel like it was necessary?
Um, Listen, I would say God divined that, because I mean, I've never even thought about doing the writing or whatever it is, but as far as what, um, I think God knew I was a very angry. I was going through a lot of change. I just, had moved here to the U.S. and I did not know that I was coming here to stay. I was that year I turned 15. So I didn't know I was coming here to stay. I just thought I was coming to a wedding. And then, all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, you're going to be here to stay. So you kind of imagine where that is going to go. So I
Wow.
was angry at a whole bunch of stuff. So, I wrote down who I was mad at, whatever it is. I was just cursing them out. Yes. So,
Oh, wow. 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 So boom, you had the opportunity to, get all of your frustrations out of your
mhm.
mind, out of your head.
Yeah,
How did that help you? Did that help you release it and be able to like let go
it
of
did.
it, or yeah?
It did. It did. Because God don't always necessarily sit, in front of you like me and you is talking, and talk to you, whatever it is. So, and then if you don't open up to people around you, or you don't trust, even people that is your blood or whatever it is, and then you're in a new place that you didn't know that you were going to be, in a whole new school system and stuff like that, that
Right.
really, yeah. So it helped. It helped. I think God made it, set it up like that. He know I needed it.
Nice. So fast forward now, how long have you been an author?
I started back in 2010. No, excuse me, I'm lying. I became, that'd be nice, but no, I released my first book in 2016. So this year, June, will make my 10-year anniversary. I'm super excited about that.
Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. What was the moment when you knew
Mhm.
that your writing was just not for yourself, but it was for the people?
Um, I mean, it took a while. It took a while because for me, the even reason why I even became a writer is because I was having um, a moment where I was dealing with a lot of anxiety, you know, and it just came out of nowhere that I was dealing with that back. I want to say I was like around 28. And, I was like, trying to figure out why I was feeling anxious all of a sudden, just back to back. And, you know, um, God, I guess God brought it to my attention. I guess for me, I came to a point where I realized a lot of my doors, what I wanted, things that I wanted to pursue was closed. So that put me in a position of going to God, and asking Him to open some sort of door. And that's where the writing came in. And at the beginning, I kind of focused on myself. That's why I came up with lately on my bed 1, 2, and 3. I tried to, and it was also good for me, to kind of feel my way out. But yeah, so
Nice, nice, nice. So, how many books have you written now?
wow. Okay, so lately on my bed 1, 2, and 3. That's a series, and I plan on continuing with that series. I did come out with a book with two of my friends. That was erotic book. It was for adults only. and we decided to part ways. So that book is no longer available. It was on what, love, heartbreak, and erotic poetry. That's it. And then so we took that down, and when I took that down, I did a whole book of just pure erotic poetry that I have done. What did I call it? I don't forgot the name of the book, but okay. But I did a whole book of just erotic poetry, and I took that down because I was like, okay, my heart is not in it. I don't see where it's going to give people life or whatever it is. So
Right.
those two books came down, and then I got into, eventually God inspired me to write Great Obedience. So overall, I'm claiming 4 books. Right now, I'm working on the second series for Great Obedience. So hopefully this year we'll make 5 books.
Nice. Nice. That is amazing. So we're going to get into more of like your author identity and
Okay.
genres because it seems like you did a couple different ones. So um, you use, both your legal name and your stage name.
Right.
Well, why is that?
Okay. So when I first started in the poetry community, I created my stage name, Sweet Sugar Cane the Poet. So that's pretty much what the poetry community know me as. And then when I started doing my writing, for me, I guess I'm proud of all of it, but I guess I wanted to put my first and last name on certain things that I'm really like, yeah, you know, but yeah.
Yeah, nice. Okay, now I understand. Like you have like, different
Yeah,
versions of yourself to give to the community.
pretty
And
much. I think with
yeah,
Sweet Sugar Cane, I kind of focus on that poetry lane, sort of, that vibe. And then with Cherisa Alford, it's more of the writing, all of that. So
nice, nice, nice. So what type of author would you say you are?
right now, I'm just focusing on being a self-published author. Most people, I know a lot of people go through agencies and stuff like that, and I wish them well with that. But for me, right now, I just focus on being a self-published author. For me, it has really taught me a lot, about myself, and it helped me to kind of bring myself up to par to where I need to be, in order for somebody else to take me serious, I have to take myself serious. So it was really a learning mechanism for me too. So
Nice, nice. Uh-huh. Do you plan on like changing your author style? Because I know your earlier work and the
mhm.
work that you're doing now, you have more like storytelling, more spiritual. Um, do you plan on continuing that style, or will you ever, go back or go, into different areas?
I mean, I'm open to going into different areas. I love exploring all the different things that I can do. I did self help simply because that's what I knew best. Like when you don't have that education background or whatever it is, you kind of like, oh, you might feel like you can't. You don't have much to give because you don't have that background. But I mean, God overall, when He gave you that permission, He blessed it. So self help was a great way for me to start out learning what I can do with writing. And then I did get into like I said, try to do something with the erotic, but it didn't align with where God wants me to be, especially since I went to Him and asking for permission. It wasn't aligning at all. And so, but yes, I do want to continue going down the spiritual path that I'm going. And then I'm open to also um, doing other genres. So did talk about doing like romance. I wanted to do erotic romance at first. And then I'm like, yeah, it's not going to work. It's not
Right.
going to work. I want to be overall pleased with the work that I have done. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm interested in doing like a clean romance, you know? So I'm open to trying different
Classic.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. So I want everybody to hear this clearly. A real artist grows. A
Hmm.
real artist, a real writer evolves. So let's talk about the business side of things. When you say self-publish, what is the difference between that and like going through an agency?
The big difference is pretty much all the responsibility falls on you. I'm a self-published author because I do all the writing. I had to go pay somebody to do the book cover. I had to upload everything to Amazon or all the different platforms. You pretty much do everything yourself. The marketing, everything falls on you. If you have to go to this part and that part to let people know what you're out there doing, everything falls on you when you are a self-published author. I don't have a team except God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
So, and that's more than enough. That's more than enough. I think
Absolutely.
that's what I really needed for this journey. And again, like I said, it was a way of helping me to learn personally within myself, you know, bring myself up to par to where I need to be taken seriously, whatever it is. With other people that go through an agency, you know, the agency, you know, they're designed to handle all of these things. You do the writing, they do the promoting, all the works, and then you just show up and I guess you do the book writing or whatever it is. So I've never been on that side of the fence. But again, all the finance as a self-published author, all the finance that falls on you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a serious business. And I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure it's like very time consuming and tedious.
It is.
Making sure you get everything right. Um, if someone wants to get into writing,
Hmm.
what would you tell them about self-publishing?
I mean, if someone wants to get into writing, you got to be okay with being accountable for everything. You are responsible. You know, you're the driving factor in everything. If you don't have accountability to self, then you're not going to be successful. You know, but if you are that type of person where you always feel like everything always falls on you to do it or whatever it is, so you might as well, you know, do something for yourself, then yes, go for it. You know, so.
Yes, absolutely. And what do you think has been the most successful parts of, being a writer, being, a self-publishing author, being a poet and
Hmm.
entering this literary world?
Hmm.
What has been some of, the success and the successful moments you've had?
I mean, for me, the most successful part has just been able to put my work out. You know, it's not easy formulating words and putting that all together in a book or whatever it is. So every time that I could put out a book, even if it's not selling, to me, it's still a success. I think people often focus more on the financial part to be, you know, to confirm that they're being successful. But for me, you know, if that's what they're looking at, then I have not been successful. Okay. But for me, the way I look at it is, you know, I have the idea, I put the idea in a book. It came to life, it went live. For me, that is success. The financial part, I know it will come later. I know the reason why there has been a delay, you know, because again, everything do fall on me as far as, you know, paying for marketing and stuff like that. So it has not been the way that I would want it to be for the marketing. But again, I don't regret all the lessons that I'm learning because once you learn certain skills, nobody could take that away from you, you know? So,
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. No, I mean, you couldn't
yeah,
have said that better. I really like that you said that because that experience
yeah,
is the best teacher.
yeah,
You could talk about it, you could hear other people talk about it, but until you get in there and
Yeah.
grapple with it yourself.
Yeah.
You'll never know. And then the blessing on that too is that the day and time that comes when you do hire people,
Hmm.
you'll know if they're
Yeah.
being successful or doing
Yeah.
it the way. No one can pull any wool over your eyes
Yeah.
because you've done it yourself.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
for me, how I describe my journey is been on a, I would describe it as delayed success. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to be successful later on. It's just delayed right now because to me, for me, overall, God was still tuning me up and working on certain things. People want instant success, but if you don't have the tools to manage it, you end up losing all of it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, you again, another one. Great, because a lot of people
Mhm.
watch what they see on social media and think that
Yeah.
a lot of these people are having instant,
Yeah.
but it took years and
Yeah.
years and years for them to get to, where they are now. So yeah,
Yes.
nah, no, that's great. And thank you for sharing that with everybody because it does take that dedication, that
Yeah.
time, that commitment, which you have
Yeah.
definitely been putting in the work. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been
And
following for a
if
long time.
if you don't mind, I say I think a lot of people, when they put out their book and they don't have that instant success, they all go into that part of their life where they're like, okay, I have failed, and I don't understand that. Like I said, sometimes it's just delayed success. You got to give yourself a minute. You cannot look at everybody's situation and feel like that's what it's supposed to be. And because it doesn't align with what you see on television, doesn't mean that you're not meant to be successful. You just have to just keep doing what you need to do. So,
Absolutely, absolutely, nice. If you want to support Cherisa's current work, that link is on the screen and also in the description. You can click on those links and go and purchase her books, go and see her work. You can also tap into her website, her Instagram, her Facebook, which is all listed in the description. So, um, don't hesitate to click on those links and see what she's all about, see what she's sharing. Um, so we're going to move right along into the process. So, what is your writing process like when you get an idea or you get something in your mind? Um, what How does that all come together for you?
wow, what is my process like? I mean, for me, I keep it simple, you know. I guess I'm a little obsessed with pen and paper, right? So if I go to the Dollar Tree, I'm always in that section where they have the notebook and the pen.
Yeah,
I'm really about the pen and paper and just start scribbling whatever you need. You don't need to perfect anything, but just start, and before you know it, you have something, you kind of get it out of your system and then go back and look at it and, okay, try to make it better, maybe get another one, another notebook and look at what you wrote and say, okay, well, how can I turn this into something, you know? But for me, that's how I would do my writing process. And then once I've figure out what I really want to talk about, the chapters and stuff like that, then I will try to transfer my work from the booklet to laptop and just go from there. Let it flow from there. So
nice, nice,
yeah.
nice. Do you set up like candle rooms, or are you
I
laying
mean, I
on your
can be that
bed?
type of person. I have done stuff like that in the past, but I've only done that like when I've done like things for poetry. Like I
Yeah.
like to set the mood or whatever it is. I've done that, but not self. No, I just as long as I have a quiet space, I'm good. For me, also, I don't know. Like when I first started writing, I used to like locking myself in the bathroom, like
Ah,
with pen and paper. I'm like, you let go of everything,
yeah.
everything. So and then just
Yeah.
relax and just let it all go, So I could be in
Yeah.
the bathroom all day. I'm one of those
Yeah.
people. So,
That's crazy you said that because I actually wanted to say that, but I was like, maybe I shouldn't. But then, yeah, that was in my head. Wow,
yeah.
wow. And then, as far as when you are creating your stories and
hmm
all of the things that you've experienced, how
hmm
has that shaped your books, your writings, your personal experiences?
I mean, okay, ask that question again. I'm sorry.
No,
You
okay.
said how has.
Your personal experience shaped your
hmm
books, so with all of the growth that you've had and all of
hmm
the writing down from how you were angry and these things,
hmm
how has that shaped the books that you write? Do you reflect on that a lot, or
I
is
do.
every yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I do. So like I said, with my first books were lately on my bed, 1, 2, and 3. And for me, at least the first two were based off of some of the things that I have been through, because and then I use that to try to, I guess, like that's where I started with perspective, and how important that is, when you seeing things from what someone is going through, or whatever it is. So yes, for me, I've continued that throughout all. Like I treat perspective like it's another genre. I haven't stopped that, but learning people, learning, watching people, learning what they go through, whatever it is, and trying to put that in my work. I guess I don't know if I'm even answering the question
no,
correctly,
no,
but
no, you definitely are. I mean, a lot of people
um,
get a lot of inspiration from a lot of different places, and
yeah, not
yeah,
just
you're
myself though. That's not my main focus. I mean, 1 and 2 was, yes, a way to start off, but to me, I feel like I could give voice to
yeah,
other people, that
yeah,
you look outside, you see they're going through all kind of different things. Writing allows me to give those individuals voice, writing from a different perspective, maybe a father and their son, a mother and her child, something like that. So,
yeah. No, I love that. I love that feeling when you speak about that because it's
hmm
like community inside
yes,
the writing. You know what I
yes,
mean? It's like we can be a part of it.
yeah.
Even as you tell the perspective, and that's good. That's really good for people to connect. So I like the feeling,
hmm
the thought of that. Um, does it take a long time to finish books, or do they kind of like come and you just whiz them out? And how does that happen?
It doesn't take a long time. I mean, I do have my lazy moments. I do.
We
Um,
all do.
yeah, yeah, but
We're human.
it doesn't take the long time. So, like my first set of books, they kind of went back to back. I wouldn't even say it took me 6 months
Wow.
to, because again, a lot of what I want is already stored up in here. It's just a matter of putting it down on paper.
Uh huh.
For it didn't take that long, because lately my bed came out, what, 2016, and then part 2 came out 2017. So those didn't take long. The other books that I've done after is just a matter of, I guess I was being a little lazy, whatever it is, but it usually doesn't take that long to write for me.
Nice. Now, do you get stuck sometimes? And if you do, like, how do you get unstuck?
That has never been my problem.
Oh wow.
I'm a
Wow.
daydreamer. I daydream all day. My whole brain is like its own television. So I don't know, when people talk about having writer's block and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't have that issue. The issue, I guess, what I would say I have is backed up ideas. Like, but because for me, I'm not going to stop. If I'm doing book A, I'm not going to start book A and then run to book B, C, and D just because they sound more exciting or whatever it is. I love the
Right.
idea,
Right.
but it's going to have to wait. So I'll just write down, jot down, and I what the idea is and come back to it. But yeah, As far as the reader's block, writer's block, whatever you call it, that's not my issue.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So we talked about, the growth. We've talked about, the things that you've, taken down. We've talked about
Mm-hmm.
how you know changed directions and cleared your space and spiritually
Mm-hmm.
risen. um do you have any regrets with your writing, or any of the things that you've done with your talent?
Um, I enjoyed doing the erotic poetry that I did. I ain't gonna lie, that was freeing for me. The regret that I have is when I try to put it into the book, and the reason why is because with the writing, I personally went to God and asked God for permission. I pursued God for permission to write, and when you go and ask God for permission to write or to do whatever, for you to take it and then make it, into something like that. God, he's spiritual, therefore it's about feeding souls, it's people's souls. And erotic poetry doesn't feed anybody's soul. If we're being honest, you just have, you know just carnal, the flesh. It just focuses on the flesh. So that, for me, when I did that, and try to put it out, I didn't really care for that. It didn't go. As soon as I put it out on Google, I had to take it back down. I was like, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel
Yeah,
right. So yeah, that's the
yeah.
only regret that I have.
Okay, no, understandable, and I like that you were able to share that too, because
Hmm.
some people think that everything is just all peachy
Yeah,
fuzzy, but
yeah,
yeah, especially with involving God in things, you have a little bit more um, respect to what you're doing,
hmm,
how you're putting it, where it goes, and
yeah,
offering it to the world. So
right.
yeah, no, that's great to hear. Um, what do you have coming up? We know that everyone can, go to Amazon, buy your book. I think it's also Barnes and Nobles. Um, what else can they, see, find, search on for you out there, and support you with?
Yeah, so right now, great obedience is what is out there. That's so that book is out there, and right now I'm working on the second um, follow up to this book on great obedience. So I'm not sure how many series I'm going to do, but I'm still working on the second one. And like I said, I hopefully I can bring that out this year, maybe even a third one, the third series this year. But yeah, that's pretty
Awesome.
much what I've been working on.
No, it was a great book. It was a great
Mhm.
book, and I enjoyed it. And I like the fact that it's like a bedtime story. You
Yes, because
know?
we need it too. Why
Yeah,
you have to grow up and have to be so serious all the time? I don't get that. That's nonsense. But
yeah,
when you read the story of Jesus with the multitude, they were all sitting down, learning stories. So why did they take that away from us? That's learning. A
yeah,
moment to learn. So I've always loved that. So I wanted to bring back that moment for adults, because again, children, there's always children books,
yeah,
but what about adults? And again, to me, so many people have moved all their life and they probably didn't miss out on certain things. We don't know what they miss out on. So to me, adult stories, to me, is essential.
yeah. No, absolutely. No, that is great. And it's like something you can, get in the bed with, pull your book
Exactly.
open, tucked
Yeah.
in, nice,
Yeah.
and it gives, yeah, it's a nice, really, really nice.
Yeah.
So how do you want, people to, support you right now? I know that they can, go follow your Instagram, they can go
Yeah.
buy the book. What other things could they do outside of that?
Share. Just do what you're doing. Share the work. Purchase. If you like it, refer it to somebody else. Even if you just, and then again, um, not only you can purchase the copy, that helps me. But again, I know everybody can't afford, with everything going up. My book is also available on Amazon, the Kindle version. It's actually free. So if you have that already, then you can tap into that. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Kindle does a thing where if you sign up as well,
Exactly.
you get it for free. So
Yeah,
you
that's
can
what I
go.
mean. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. I put it there
Okay.
intentionally because I feel like, because this is really focusing on God, I don't want to make it, a cost thing all around. I want
Yeah.
to know that there's some opportunity with someone like, okay, I don't have money for this month or whatever it is. I would sure love to read it. I don't want to take that opportunity away from them. If they have something like, what you call it, Kindle Unlimited, then tap into it and then you get a free read. So.
Absolutely. No, you guys, you have to check it out. Spiritual based, definitely, gives you guidance and positivity and encouragement. So you definitely have to go and check this book out. Um, check out um, Miss Cherisa Alford, um, Sweet Sugar Cane, the poet. One thing that I did notice too was is that you actually got that like trademark.
Yeah, somewhat, somewhat. It wasn't as successful, but I was attempting to.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. But that's business. I mean,
yeah,
I like that approach and
yes.
things like that. To help with growing.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yes,
would love for you to come back. I think we got some more to talk
absolutely.
about. Yes,
Yes,
yes. But I want to thank you for being here today, and for everybody who tuned in. Thank you for tuning in and watching. We will be having more coming with Miss Alford, and follow her pages. Go get the book, Kindle version. It's all there. It's all available for you. She is telling you her story, her journey, from St. Kitts to the U.S.
ah,
to
okay.
literature and poetry. Like, yes, like she is
Thank you for
here.
having me. Thank you for
You're very
having me.
welcome. Thank
And
you.
thank everybody for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you guys again.
Absolutely. So I definitely need you guys to go and get it now. Go and get it, and we will make sure that we get everything that you need in the chats, in the descriptions. Go watch her, follow her. If you're someone who is also looking for support, you could definitely hit us up for interviews, promo, booking support, or sponsorship packages through Everything DMV Radio. You can email us at bach at Everything DMV Radio. And this is your guy, DJ Big Bàk, with Everything DMV Radio, and we are out. Thank you so much.